Wait. Wait. Oh, it's empty now. Why is it empty now? Hi, welcome back to The Great East Attorney Chronicles with me. We are now going to proceed to demand for our client's testimony. So let's go ahead. We might, it might shed some light for us. Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. Why are you raising your hand? I forgot he does this. The defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Let him on. Yes, I need a little time to consider this. You're suspicious.
If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say.
Get the man out here! Out here, I say! He's not so bad, I guess. It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony. When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run the things at the guild.
Hearing what the patron of my favorite little bag has to say? Oh yes, that would be lovely.
Yes, the jury says the man must be hurt. Do you not have a mind of your own, man? Bailiff, show the defendant. Wait, what did he say before that? Okay, very well. That's all he said. Okay. Show the defendant to the stand at once. Why? Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. I hope so. I think he just fell asleep, that's all. Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilded, have you been listening to the discourse of the day?
To be sure I have, my lord.
There are now two matters on which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin as proposed by the defense. The second is that if such a person was present, why did you conceal the fact from the police?
Begone? No, that is not my nature to hide anything at all.
Just answer the questions, please.
The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell you so, or keep me mouth shut?
Tell us what, Mr. McGilded?
The fine fellow representing me is absolutely right. On the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger.
Oh, he wasn't asleep? Is it true?
Hey, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. So it was a kid?
You... what? Okay, so it was a child? No, Magnus McGilded, that convenient excuse can't save you now.
I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Venzix. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. Idle we had and a very good reason, I assure you.
Which was?
Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and not in any way involved, you see.
What?
If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this here courtroom like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord.
And who was this young child of whom you speak?
That, I don't know.
You don't know?
Well, that the wee thing just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since.
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witnesses' statements to be disregarded by the court.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised. If the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as you speak, listening to the proceedings.
What? Excuse me? Smoke. Fire. Someone's trying to get away. Wait. Wait. What do you mean? What is going on?
Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus.
I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. We don't even... Wait. But we don't even know who it was. Why did they just suddenly throw a smoke bomb in there? And scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber. We had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. Yo, I should have just waited a few more minutes. Oh well. A new episode for us, I guess. "18th February, 12:52 p.m. The Old Lady, Defendant's Antechamber." What on earth just happened in there?
Mr. Naruhodo, I've managed to find out what happened.
Mr. Sato.
I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke.
Yeah? A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of thing ninjas use.
They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long.
But who would have done something like that?
The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom apparently.
Flee the courtroom? Why?
Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear.
A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilded was just talking about?
My thoughts exactly.
So he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilded actually? There are so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here.
I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions, along with the young girl.
Who is she, I wonder? And what was she even doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk, and for what possible benefit to herself?
There's another matter that's troubling me.
What's that?
20 pence.
Oh, yeah, okay. According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo,
he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly. But now it seems there were in fact 5 passengers, which means the figures don't seem to add up again.
Yeah, the girl was hiding under the bench after all. In the coach. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go in straight away.
Well, wherever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I really can't imagine what she's gonna say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial.
We'll soon know soon enough, Mr. Sato.
Yes!
She's so enthusiastic. Oh, is that her? There's a young girl next to Mr. McGilded. Look. She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilded. But he said he wouldn't be surprised that she's in here. Was there a reason why? Now then, Lord Van Zix. My lord? I believe you have established the cause of the smoke which veiled proceedings earlier. It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, of the sort typically employed by the army. Good gracious, the army! What in the devil's name? It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught. And now occupies the stand. Your name, girl. Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? Talk, man. What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior?
If I may, Miss My Lord,
Yes, Mr. McGilded.
I think that perhaps I ought to explain here. Why is it that this wee lass was here in the first place and why she tracked the boat like that? He's all tied up with the events of that night, so it is.
Very well, Mr. McGilded, give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case. Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. We didn't have time to talk to him.
On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and probably not at all. Then Begorra, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fellow collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I set him up on the seat across from me. Wait. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away.
Where? Where did you see her? I remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather, on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus, is that correct?
This exactly as the defense counsel said. This lass was the fifth passenger, my lord.
Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel? Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. Yeah, let me press about this first.
Hold it!
You set him up? The victim, you mean?
That I did, on the seat across from me, as I said. I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. Yeah, you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you? 'Tis common courtesy, so it is.
I find that a little hard to believe.
Ara, Lord Venzix. Now, why would that be?
You wake to find a man lying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is.
Well, now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business.
The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest.
Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would even see me date. So I do try, where at all possible, to avoid getting myself tangled with trouble.
Are you suggesting you were going to leave the man there?
Heavens alive, no! I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only I had a mind to find out why the whys and wherefores first.
The whys and wherefores?
Right you are. There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddling. The wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do just the same?
Yes. The scream he says he heard at the same time as the thought of the victim collapsing. Okay. Child in there. In where, yeah? Under the seat, right?
Hold it!
You said she was hiding herself.
Hey, that's right. It was hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all cut up in a wee ball. When our eyes met, well, me heart nearly stopped beating in my chest.
You're really overreacting this.
Seal and all, I pulled her out from under there and set her on the seat opposite where so I could have a wee.
Wait. Set her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chin wet with her. Not where the victim was set, right? The seat opposite?
That's right, just next to.
Okay. A bit dark. You said this young girl next to a corpse, sir?
Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can also often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see.
Hmm.
And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream. A fella's voice this time.
Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats.
Right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belly.
In other words, the previous witnesses did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McGilded. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was in fact this girl and the late Miss Mason.
My lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat to the back of the carriage out of sight.
It is certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive or in stature, and readily confused perhaps with this young girl.
After that, of course, with the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses.
And what happened to her?
I do wonder how you must be feeling, Mr. Naruto. Being the defendant's lawyer and yet finding myself as stunned as everyone else.
Oh, sorry. Being the defendant's lawyer and yet finding myself as stunned as everyone else at his testimony. Let's just say it's trying.
We certainly had precious little time to talk to Mr. McGilded before the trial. But we mustn't be dispirited. We must try to learn all the facts we can.
When we arrived in London this morning, I didn't see my day panning out like this.
Mr. Naruhodo, no grumbling, even in your head.
She can read my mind. How did you know? Okay, so let me just press everything then.
Hold it!
And when you first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board?
There were not. The cabin was empty and there was no one on the roof deck either.
You were the first person as it were, I see.
And that's why I took the backside as I did. It is the most comfortable, so it is.
Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat?
By all means, this is how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite the one in which the poor gentleman was stabbed was sitting. Like I said, it is the most comfortable,
Yeah, I agree.
and where I feel most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well. Tembegura!
Okay, wait. Hang on. Let me press this one too. A loud thud, you say, and a scream.
Hey, that's right. How can I explain it? It was like the sound of someone falling to the ground. That sort of noise.
So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor having been stabbed?
Well, now, you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me and I opened my eyes, there wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage but the fellow on the floor.
You didn't see anyone. But at the same moment, you did hear a scream. From the seats above you on the roof deck, I presume.
Not above me, no, my lord. It was from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight up before my eyes.
Wait. But they said they saw blood on the hands. The girl... Have we seen her hands?
Hold it!
I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim.
So I did, sir, so I did, as far as I could see, that is.
What do you mean by that?
Well, now, it's a queer thing. The wee scream I heard as I woke up came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside.
Good gracious! Under your backside?
And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found there was a wee cubby hole there for storage.
Yeah, we saw that.
Mr. Naruhodo, we can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember?
We did. Yes, of course. The whole bus was submitted as evidence.
This would be a very good time to have a thorough look all around and I already looked. And that's when I found her.
Thank you, I've heard enough. The events as explained are clear in my mind, however, at least one conundrum remains. Who stepped? Okay, I mean these two. Who is the girl? You may talk now.
Her name is Gina Lestrade, my
Lord, how did you know her name?
She's a chancer, once across among large crowds, relieving people of their purses.
Oh, so she's a thief.
What's commonly called a pickpocket.
What? This girl here a petty thief? Order? Is this true, Miss Lestrade? I don't know. Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question. Ow. Okay, you just attacked the judge. That's not a good thing. You will get in trouble. How dare you? What is the meaning of this? She's gone. Oh, the girl. She's gone. Open your eyes. I'm over here. Oh, gracious, how? What was the point in that little sidestep? I know what you all are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. This dirty little dipper, you say, slipped up and got caught on the job. She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the gent. Go on, that's what you hate, in it. Let me get a voice for her. No, not at all. This is a court of law. We are here to determine the truth, not... Ouch. Look, knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what I do is these fingers. I'm a professional, alright. Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. Let me guess, you don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs. Oh, this? Yeah, this was in the bag I lifted the other day. Down where they keep the four-wheel drags. Where? It's nice, isn't it? I like the pink best. Oh, do not wave that thing in my direction again. Oh no. So, you admit that you were riding the omnibus on the night in question.
He's alright, Les. You can tell them the truth now.
Alright, yeah. It's just like the Irishman said. Oh, he's Irish. The court accepts this girl, Miss Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, will now hear your testimony, if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question.
Alright, if I have to.
What the girl saw. So I snuck inside the carriage before they booked up the horses, just like always. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for my travels that night. I will tell you, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's a pitch in there. Then after a while, I heard this loud bang. Nearly jumped out of my skin, I did, and the scream just came out. It's because of that this well found me. It did help me get away me mind. How? Yes, he let you go. I fail to understand why you would let this attorney go, Mr. McGilded.
Oh, 'tis simplicity itself, my lord. You see, she could have possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact.
How?
As I'm sure I said before, sir. I was sitting right on top of the place where she was hiding herself. That's true. I think a demonstration is called for. Do we need a demonstration? This is where I was set that night. And the cubbyhole of which you have spoken.
Oh, and the cubbyhole of which you have spoken is underneath this seat, I presume. Yeah. Why is it empty now? Yes, it does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature.
But of course, the wheelers were stuck in there. Because I'd parked myself on the seat for the duration.
Oh,
So you see, that's why I let the police bolt. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young life was ruined when all the time I knew she was innocent.
even though you must have realized your action would result in your own innocence being called into question.
Not at all, my lord. Not at all. I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So I thought it was worth taking a punt on my own good name for the sake of this less fortunate lass. My goodness! What a perfect gentleman!
My lord, this fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir. Oh, are you going to take back your fire? Interesting. You too? With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Let's go. Saves life. All 6 members of the jury consensually in their leaning to a verdict of not guilty. Yes, but we still need to find out who killed the victim.
Mr. Naruhodo, it must mean
It must mean what?
that we are victorious.
We've won? Are you sure?
Objection!
Yeah, I knew it. Are you gonna bring up something else? If the sight of my iron-hilt Wellington offends, pray do forgive the discourtesy. It's pretty clean though. This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day. Emotion? The witness's latest statement gives us a clear insight to his true nature. What do you mean, his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in their investigation, okay? The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report. Good Lord! The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGilt's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. What? But we checked it. There were things inside already. Order! How could such a dubious contrivance possibly have been affected, counsel? Wait. It was not empty. Oh, it's empty now. Why is it empty now? Why is it? What? Why is it empty now? It wasn't empty just now. This is a storage compartment, but there's nothing in here. It's totally empty. It wasn't empty just now. Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is. Oh. When the smoke screen happened, someone emptied it? Is that it? How could such a devious contrivance possibly have been affected, Council? Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Well, my Nipponese friend? Me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Pray, what did you find the condition of the underseat compartment to be? Yeah.
Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy.
Sorry?
Go ahead, you tell the court now, fella. How this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zix.
I can't do that. Well, Counsel, do you have something to say on this matter? I mean, like, everyone else is a witness too. It's not only us. Other people have seen it. It's our word against everyone else. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the other side would have expected and they would have so much witnesses. I can't lie. How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat? I really don't know if giving this answer is helping my cause as counsel for the defense. You can't avoid it. You can't lie either. Everyone else have seen it. You are not the only ones who have checked it, you know. But as far as I remember, at least, when I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside it, yes. Oh, you sure, Counsel? But it can still fit somebody. Horror, bewits!
What are you saying now, you deaf doll? I thought you were on my side here.
I can be on your side, but... What game are you playing? Your task is to defend the man in the stand. Yeah, but I'm not gonna do it on lies. Why would you say something to compromise his position? If he really didn't do it, he really didn't do it. We don't need to lie. As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand. But it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible. Interesting.
Tis not altogether pleasing, fellow.
I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGilded.
Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interests here, lad. Now then. A fellow's memory is a curious thing and not altogether reliable. Now the court must consider the facts. Did their cubby hole under the seat is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is. Do you think perhaps it would be in your best interest now to admit that you might have been mistaken?
Look, if you want to defend me, make sure I have all the facts. Why? Why do I feel like something's not right here? I should like the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think. That compartment is designed to house equipment used to maintain the smooth surrounding of the carriage. The guild's rules state that the omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times, so it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night of the in question. Beppo isn't that irresponsible. That money-lending fleecer and the pig purse are lying. Oh, great. Welcome back, I guess. Can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, a lot of them. What? Oh no. It's a trick. Of course it's a trick. Great. I knew it was gonna be her. Quite so, I must concur here. Is someone else gonna do it?
With calm calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time.
Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems. My lord, I humbly exhibit the skills of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. Thank you, counsel. But before we may proceed any further, there is a matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Or are we not done? Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please. Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Ripper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. No, he did nothing. We did something.
So I snuck inside the carriage before they looked up the horses. They looked up the horses, just like always. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to... Wait. So actually, one moment.
Hold it!
I need to know what she was doing in there though. So you were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run? Well, yeah, I mean, what's the point of spending a joey to make a few... Bobby, it's a rum idea, isn't it?
I suppose she means there's no point spending money to make money. It actually makes sense. Yeah. Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief. Kindly refrain from entering her tenants.
Well, let us clear up the little mystery of the players and all. For paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making the 20 to which the cabman testified. One little scape grace riding for free.
The red Kong of a driver
always goes for some grub before it's less run, you see. So that's when I slip into the carriage and get myself hidden under the seat. Nice and easy, right?
But your hiding place is a storage compartment full of equipment for the coach, no? I think she can still fit in there. Yo.
Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always checked all that out and cram it in a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much.
Yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia.
Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all that stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you.
Seems we've reached the end of the line of the inquiry. Continue.
Hold it!
A waste of time? Why is that?
Well, most nights I'm on my own. You got permit at least some of the time.
I beg your pardon? Did you say got permit?
Oh yeah, well that's what my kind call it.
You'd say the omnibus, I suppose.
The kind is any normal around the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while.
And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away.
That's it? Only that night?
You can't get out because someone was sitting on the seat.
This cove was set on me seat from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch. I was totally stuck.
Do you mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while events unfolded in the enclosed cabin.
Yeah. Right, mister? To be sure, I was as shocked as anyone. You don't expect to leave the cushion you've been sat on and find a charm now, do you?
So this Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then?
I'll tell you, I can't see a blind thing in that hiding place.
Let's go.
Hold it!
So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all?
Not a jolt. Most days I push the cushion up with me and look out the crack. Then I can ever butcher that who I'm gonna fiddle.
I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher.
I mean, I can't ever look. The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other ones, see? So most of the time, the passengers plant themselves opposite.
Sorry, wait. I was wondering about that. Oh, I see. So it's not as comfortable. Oh, I was wondering about it.
But for some reason that night, this young Irishman spent the whole journey right over me 8. And for that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to pick out, I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown in the clean. But it's the only place to hide in them carriages, so it's Opson's choice.
Why doesn't she just stick to picking people's pockets in the open then? I'd say there's some reason that she's not letting on. I see.
So anyways, I was a bit scared, but I had to just stick it out under there. Nothing else for it.
A bang though.
Hold it!
When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor?
Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember well. Point is, it made me jump.
And you let out a scream involuntarily.
That's right. And then I felt the cushion over me and it get lighter all of a sudden.
Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes. Or not? It could equally have been the moment the accused stood in order to step his victim, could it not? Well, girl, did you see what happened at that crucial moment?
Yeah, I saw it. I pushed up the cushion and ate the quick butches while I ate the chance, didn't I?
The Irishman was sitting up the block what had fallen on the floor on the seat opposite.
That matches Mr. McGilden's account, of course. But then, the fella suddenly turns around and looks right at me. I sunk back down again, but it was too late by then. I should never have risked looking.
It's because of that this Will found me. He did help. Wait, so she didn't scream? She did not scream. Oh, see? Wait, okay, wait. Nearly jumped out. Okay, so she had the bang, then she screamed. Okay.
Hold it!
And when Mr. McGilder discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place.
I was scared too. I was. He dragged me out and set me down on the seat and all.
Next to the victim, Mr. Mason.
Yeah, the bloke had a knife in his guts. It was still bleeding. And then the carriage lurched a bit and he ended up falling onto me. How awful. Both me ends got covered in blood. It made me feel sick as a dog.
Okay, so that's where the blood came in. Both her hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passenger saw. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilded for a while, is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Sorry, wait. You had time to talk? I mean, they stopped already. You had time to talk?
He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know me name and what I was up to and that.
And then I heard something up from up above. Someone screamed. Oh, okay. I'm not sure whether it's making sense in my head. So like, hang on. Carriage lurched. Okay, so when the carriage lurched, nothing was happening. No one noticed yet. Well, I didn't want no one seeing my face, so I didn't look up. Then the horses were drawn up, spot-ish, and this here Irishman says to me, "Get back under the seat, I'll see that you can get away later."
All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent.
For what brief shining moment, yes.
It's clear that they are still very unsure. I'm unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony, I'm sure we could clinch the verdict we want.
But is that the verdict we want though? I'm not certain whether our defendant is innocent after all. Yes, I think you're right, and I have this niggling feeling. Something's off. Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Well, no.
Okay. I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown in the clink. I didn't notice this. I don't know why I didn't notice this earlier.
Excuse me.
Is something wrong, Mr. McGilded?
Oh, I do apologize. Was there something that made him a concern?
I'm just wondering if Mr. Straight's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself.
Ew, no. It was nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad. Shut up in the dark. Just terrifying it so it was.
I see. Yes, I'm sure we all can sympathize. We can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. Why? Oh, because of the wardrobe?
Ian, I don't know about yourself, but I find that the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well.
Yeah.
I suppose it does, maybe.
Miss Lestrade, did you hear something that night? Anything an unusual noise, perhaps? Why are you shaking your head? No, not really. No, tell me more. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring.
Jabbers, there's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp.
What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. Yes, what should we make of that last statement? Add it in. I don't get added in, my lord. I believe the last statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important, but all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is the profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Easter Mind Council, nevertheless. Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please. What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you are trying to do. Well, we'll work on me. That's right, insult the judge. Always a good move. I was straining my ears to work out what was going on, but all I could hear was snoring.
Hold it!
So you were straining to hear what was happening in the entire time since the moment you hit yourself?
Not exactly.
No? Sorry? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and F witches to see what was what. But then when I saw this swell getting on, I got me 8 down, so it didn't notice me. And Mr. McGilded sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct?
Yeah, would you?
Adam and Eve, eh? What a mark. So then all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out there as soon as I heard him leave, you see. But would you? Not likely. Even though we stopped earlier, I never heard the door open, okay? So just had to stay put and listen to him driving its speeds to market, snoring like an old dog it was. Yeah, so we have a problem here, McGilded. Are there any conclusions we can draw from that? Oh. Tough, because that would mean there's nobody else. Miss Lestrade, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. At odds? Are you sure, man? Absolutely. It seems that my lending his friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. So Benzix realized it too. Yeah, nobody... oh no. Counsel. I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence or some complicit party's name at the very least. Yes, my lord. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, whilst she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she had nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilder's snoring. But think, Runosuke, think. There's something else she should have heard. The stabbing? Oh, the knocking, right? They said they knocked on the door. They said they knocked on the door, right? Photograph of the victim. Oh, that's not right. The victim should have bought it. Okay, that's weird. Oh. The victim. Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. Yeah, she said no one went in. But the victim was inside. They said,
Take that!
thrice fired Mason? Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear. Is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. Did she fall asleep too? Is that it? Order, explain your reasoning, counsel. Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person to board on the omnibus, is that correct? Yeah, course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGilder. There he was. Not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at the time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't travelling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure. And from what I've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? Nah, I never had heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, wasn't it? Waiting for this well to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? Oh. We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Yes. Yes, this petitive statement was clearly flawed. Lord Van Zix. Yes. He knew. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. And he didn't say anything. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colourful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more. Yeah. I told you we have a problem. How could the victim blah death to flip that person? And this girl is a pickpocket, let's not forget that. Why is she getting ready to slam her fire? No! She didn't even say anything, yeah.
I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she has some rather naughty ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars.
Neither can I. Mr. Foreman, I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars. No! Oh my god. We're in trouble.
Mr. Naruhodo, that's 5 jury members named was guilty.
Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponi's friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. Yes, very refreshing.
Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Amadan?
This is carnage. It's perfect. Juror number 2 is only one left.
Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going.
I know. If we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilder's innocent, the judge will rule and we'll have lost. No, please.
I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen, but those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Yeah.
Hold it!
Is that us? Is that me? What is it?
Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case.
What are you saying?
Counsel? I'm sorry, sir. Whatever do you mean?
Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my adjudication. Explain yourself at once. When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand. And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. If these petitive's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? I don't know. I have no idea. Naruhodo, I have no idea. Okay. There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. And we will decide that in the next episode. So until then, thank you for watching and goodbye.